So we can organize this possibly into 4 different areas, okay? First one is all about political neutrality. More Meta users means more money, and money makes the world go around. Number 3, conflict is interesting. People love conflict. They love to watch. They become more engaged. And finally, this benefits Donald Trump. So let's take a look at the 4 different areas. So if we take a look at political neutrality, we've got a couple of benefits and a couple of downsides here. Now, first of all, really, really simple. Meta wants to be seen as a champion of free speech and inclusivity. Now, who knows whether Mark Zuckerberg is a libertarian and he believes that people should be able to say what they want and what they don't want, but he is becoming innocent here. If Facebook is able to allow all free speech, he's like the dude with the balloon. He suddenly feels a little bit lighter. He doesn't have to worry about what people are saying because the whole idea is that Meta or Facebook is a platform for free speech and inclusivity. Say what you want, everybody has a voice. However, there's a downside because if Facebook now allows people to say whatever they want, if free speech becomes something they believe in, then there's a lot of inconsistency. And also we could have these accusations of prioritizing profits over principles. If you let people say whatever they want, that could be hateful, it could be awful, it could be racist. Well, why is Meta trying to do that? It could be said that they are trying to do that to make more money. Say whatever you want, more people use Meta and Facebook, the revenue goes up. So this is a bit of a key relationship we have to consider here between free speech and neutrality. Could also basically mean that Meta wants to get more money. You guys decide what the answer is there. Now, the second benefit here is that Trump's posts drive massive interaction and revenue. Well, people read stuff about Donald Trump. My dad was addicted to checking Donald Trump's Twitter stream when he was previously president. Donald Trump is news. He's on the front page. He enjoys being on the front page. So if Meta is at the head of that, they can use Donald Trump to basically get more people to view Meta stories, engage with Meta feeds. Now, the downside of this, of course, is that Donald Trump and his supporters could often be argued to be quite polarizing individuals. Some of the content is not the content that you want to sit down with to talk about in with your family or your in-laws or on a first date or something really mellow and lovely. This sometimes is very polarizing. The content is divisive and sometimes it can be toxic. So that is a downside to this. Lots of interaction, but it's not everybody's cup of tea. Now, the second thing is really simple. Let's talk about cash, big bags of money. More Meta users means more money for Meta. This is pretty simple, right? Political campaigns drive significant ad dollars. When you get into elections or when you're getting into midterm elections, political ads are one of the biggest spenders on places like Facebook, on Instagram, on X. It's everywhere. Political ads spend big dollars and big bucks. So if Donald Trump is able to spend money on Facebook for the Republican Party, then they will spend big money. Mark Zuckerberg wants that type of ad revenue because that is the biggest way that Facebook makes money. From ads, they sell ads. More people go to Facebook. They basically view ads. Every time you view an ad on YouTube or whatever it is, you're making that platform money. Now, the downside to this, of course, is that there can be a backlash, as there was last time, from certain advertisers and advocacy groups. X, for example, lost a lot of ad spenders, basically some big companies who basically said, oh my goodness, X is toxic. We will not buy ads on this platform because it goes against what we believe in. Now Donald Trump is becoming the president. Let's just see whether lots of companies continue to do that. It's very easy when Donald Trump may be going to jail, but now he's the new president of the United States. How many big companies will continue to boycott X? How many will boycott Facebook? So this is where you start to delve into the moral compass of profit and principles. Now, the second benefit here is that Trump's presence broadens Meta's user base. So if we think about the people who support Donald Trump, many have possibly stopped using Facebook in protest to Facebook banning Donald Trump from the previous, the 2020 election. So in this case, there is the potential that more people will return to Facebook. We shall see, because of course, the downside to that is if people come back to Facebook, some people may leave Facebook. So people who oppose Trump or they want to boycott Facebook because of this betrayal may decide to leave. The same thing has happened with X. As we mentioned, lots of people jumped ship and left, and they went to different platforms. This is something that can happen. So it's not just only benefits. There's also a risk of people disappearing from Facebook. Now, if we go and take a look at the third idea, conflict is interesting. People love arguments. We love watching soap operas and dramas and conflict-ridden movies. Books usually start with conflict. Donald Trump is a fascinating person to watch because he basically creates conflict and conflict follows him. So if there is more conflict, that means, in a very polite, diplomatic, academic way, that more public discourse. People will have more discussions. They will talk with opposing views. You will have varied perspectives. Who doesn't want to have varied perspectives? Isn't that what democracy is all about? You want people to be able to talk to each other and everybody listens to different voices. Of course, the downside is that democracy isn't really always about that, because sometimes you can have social divides and echo chambers where essentially these ideas are bouncing off the walls. Facebook is a great place to find groups who love certain things or believe in certain things. And sometimes these people will go onto Facebook and you will only hear the same ideas bouncing backwards and forwards. You never really listen to other people. So it's not always the fact that everybody goes to Facebook because they want to have intellectual, stimulating, balanced, objective political discourse. A lot of people just go there and they just want to hear what they already think, which is totally normal. Now, benefit number 2 here is that Meta rebuilds trust by showcasing inclusivity. Meta, as we already talked about, wants to become neutral, wants to become the place for everybody. Sounds a lot like Elon Musk said about X, that he wanted it to be the ultimate platform for public and social discourse. He wanted it to be a town hall for everybody, where everybody can raise their hand and say what they want to say. Is that the reality? Well, that's for you guys to kind of figure out. Is that really what happens? Some users may see this as enabling harmful narratives. Again, if you give people free speech, a wonderful thing in principle, but the reality sometimes can be that you will have harmful, toxic narratives. People will jump on it, people will talk about it, and it will grow. When you basically put stuff online, it grows legs quickly. Facebook may have to be ready for that. In the past couple of weeks, they got rid of their fact checkers on Facebook to make sure that harmful content was fact checked. Is that a move to create more inclusivity with varied perspectives, or is that a way to curry favor with Donald Trump and the Republicans? We'll have to figure that out later. Now, finally, of course, this doesn't just benefit Meta. This benefits Donald Trump. Donald Trump created a new social platform, Truth Social, in response to getting kicked off almost everything after the 2020 election. But here, he essentially will be able to regain his influence and reach on things like Facebook and Instagram. That's huge. Now he can connect with supporters. He can raise funds for the Republicans. Remember, political parties usually, and always really, depend on donations from supporters. This is a way to actually connect with people. He can publish and publicize his political position and his views and that of the Republicans. Downside here, of course, is that when more people are watching you, more people can go, "This guy is an idiot. I'm a teacher who's often making videos or talking to groups of people, and you say embarrassing stuff." When you are visible, you are in danger of being risible. So more people will be watching you and more people disagree. Like, I'm sure some people will find something to disagree with from my video, even though I've said nothing really controversial. I'm trying to be very objective here. The second benefit, the final benefit here, is that there is a global stage for Donald Trump. So we've talked about visibility. Well, basically, this creates a global stage where he can not just talk to people in the United States. He's not just talking to people on Truth Social who want to find news about Donald Trump. Facebook is a global platform with about 2 billion people using it. That means that Donald Trump and the Republicans can use this to talk to people around the world. Facebook is a massive driver of change in politics around the world. Finally, though, of course, if Donald Trump and the Republican Party start to use Meta and Facebook, they are also then subject and vulnerable to changes from Meta and Facebook. And if Donald Trump or the Republicans do something that really annoys everybody and is incredibly controversial, there is, of course, a danger that the policy will change. Companies try to make sure that they follow the political current of the time. If the political current changes, there is a chance that Trump could be kicked off again. Who knows whether he will go for re-election if he's kicked out, and it's the end of his second term. That's goodbye, Donald Trump. Well, all of this stuff could switch around. It only takes a couple of clicks, and the entire platform can realign itself with another political position to suit the Democrats if they come back into power. So everything is vulnerable, which I'm sure Donald Trump understands. I'm sure the Republicans understand. But there we go, guys. So if we go back, we have 4 different things. We're talking about political neutrality. Facebook wants to reposition itself as being neutral because it's far easier to be neutral. Put yourself in the middle and you don't even need an opinion. That's magnificent. Secondly, more Meta users means more money from ads. This is important because Facebook is a profit-making business. It's an enterprise. They want to make more money, which means more of you. Conflict is interesting. People will engage with conflict. People will talk about it. People will go and check it. They will read it like my dad. And finally, how this benefits Donald Trump. Donald Trump can speak to the world. He can tell everybody what he wants to say. He can reach more people than he can with X.com or with Truth Social. Suddenly, he's got a bigger platform to talk about. So, guys, I hope that demystifies some of the points here, some of the ideas about why Zuckerberg and Meta are cozying up to Donald Trump. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to take a look at them. But apart from that, guys, enjoy it, keep thinking, and I'll see you guys next time.